introduction to page 8.3. We're going to look at gases in terms of what pressure, temperature, and volume mean, in terms of sort of what we measure at a macroscopic level, and then at a microscopic level, what's going on with the particles. So I have this magic demo here. Let's see. I'm going to go, hello. There we go. I just pumped some gas particles into that container. And what I've got here is 1.5 atm. That's atmospheres. We'll come back to units a little bit later. But the pressure that we're reading macroscopically, somebody can walk up to a pressure gauge and read this 1.5. What that is the force of the particles bouncing off the walls. That's what is pressure. Microscopically, particles impart force on the wall when they smack against it. Macroscopically, there's my pressure gauge. The other thing we want to look at is temperature. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some heat to this. I want to think about two things. What is it doing microscopically to the particles when they heat up? And macroscopically, what am I going to measure? So microscopic particles. So here's my hokey heating up mechanism. And you can see my temperature is going up. So there's my macroscopic thing that I measure or observe. Let's run it up here. 2000. Let's live a little. There we go. Now, microscopically, what's happening? The particles are moving faster. So temperature at a microscopic level is really sort of a measure of the speed. That's an oversimplification, but you can see higher temperatures, faster particles. And macroscopically, I measure the temperature. There's one last thing. We talk about the volume of a gas. And so here's this container that is the volume of the gas. That's the macroscopic. You lay the thing out, measure it, calculate the volume. Microscopically, I want you to think about this. What's the volume of the particles relative to the volume of the container? It's very, very small. This is exaggerated, but it's reasonable to say the volume of the particles is zero. It's so small compared to the volume of the container that for gases we say, well, the volume of the gas particles is actually zero. The volume, when we talk about it at a macroscopic scale, is the volume of the container. Okay, now we're ready to go to page 8.3.